is this? Tabletop Island, huh? Let's see what this is all about.
You're pirates sailing your ships to get to the treasure. But watch out, mateys, cause there's more than one pirate ship on this adventure. And it takes super sailing strategy to reach the booty before you're blasted out of the water. Arrgh! The Game of Blast by Ideal Games.
Welcome to Tabletop Island. I'm Bernardo, your host, and today we're going to be talking about the vintage board game, The Game of Blast by Ideal Games. This game is the other game that I have that involves a pump, and it's super unique. One of the big differences between Battleboard, which I reviewed the week prior, and this one is this game plays 4 players. But let me not get too far into that. Let's first talk about the components. The components look great. The plastic board is really well made, and much like the other game, you insert this little pump in certain sections, and it randomly can distribute air out of one of these slots. Unlike the other one, you know it's the exact opposite in which the air pump flows. We'll get into that. The pump itself, just a standard pump, looks really nice, much like the other game. And then you have these really well-made kind of ships pieces, and they're really thick, and they just really go with the theme itself. And then in the center of the board, built in, which I've never seen thus far, or let me not say never, but it's not something I see very often, and that is a spinner built right into the board. I like that a lot. Especially the little sword spinning piece really brings in the theme extremely well. And then the treasure chest is your goal. So how the game plays, your goal is to spin the spinner, move your ship around, and get it all the way around the entire ocean and get to the treasure. Now while you're doing that, your opponent's trying to stop you. If you spin a blast symbol, then there are 2 inner kind of holes that you can put the air pump in that line up with one of your opponent's boats. Now if yours is in there, that's where things can kind of get a little risky, and sometimes you gotta take that risk. So you take the air pump, you place it in one of those 2 holes, and you push down. Now that, whatever holes those are lined up with, which will be 3 in that row, the air can come out of either one of those. Now, it is random, but it is stationary. So the second time you go there, it will still be in the same spot. So if you got amazing memory, you're gonna be a little bit ahead on that, but that doesn't take away from the game, nor does it really give you enough of an advantage to be unfair. So again, you're putting the pump down and blowing down. If you're in that row, you could potentially knock yourself out. So you might not want to take that risk, but you can also get your opponent. So when you're getting close to the edge, you're gonna have to. But it's so unique because you're moving through, and while you do get the opportunity to take your opponent out, you can also backfire, and it can do absolutely nothing and fizzle. And that is so fun, especially how frustrated your opponent gets when they can't get you, yet you somehow keep getting lucky and blowing their ship out of the water. Now, when you do blow them out of the socket, you only move back 3 spaces towards the treasure, so backwards. And that is not broken enough, but it is enough to make it frustrating and a little good back and forth movement. The game, I thought initially, before I played it, it was going to overstay its welcome, and it was going to be absolutely insane the amount of times you blow the air and hit the ship. Even with a good amount of success with the air pump, it did not overstay its welcome. The game really ended at a decent time. I would say it took us maybe about 30 minutes the first time we learned it, maybe 40, but it's extremely quick. After that, I ended up playing a few other games, and they took about 25 to 30 minutes. It's not a long game. It's a fantastic filler game, and the board looks really good, and it's such a unique concept. My big gripe with Battleboard, while I do love that game, it's a 2-player game. This one is a 4-player game, and as you guys may know from me talking a lot about it, I get 4 people to the table quite frequently, and 3 is another common number, which plays really well with this also. But the game itself easy to teach, fun for the whole family, and honestly, it looks great on the table. The price point was extremely cheap. I believe I got this game for about $7, which I know sounds crazy, but you can find good deals. So if you do find it at a local thrift shop or even a good deal on eBay, which is pretty common from what I remember when I was looking for it initially, I highly recommend it. And if this does seem like the kind of game for you, I definitely recommend taking that dive into this game because it's super fun and such a unique idea. And again, if from Battleboard you weren't big on the 2-player aspect, this really fixes it and adds a little bit more random elements to it, because with Battleboard it was more consistent as to where the air came from. This one it is not, and that makes it that much more fun. I'm a fan. But the Game of Blast by Ideal Games, that is honestly all I have to say about the game. If you're interested in notifications, there is a bell up there somewhere. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate any feedback. I'm trying to make these videos more and more outrageous, and with your guys' help, I have been doing so. Monday, regular board game reviews. Wednesday, weekly updates / talks. And then on Fridays, my vintage board game reviews. That is all I have for you guys today. I will see you guys next time.